Parkway Drive had the one song fucking off of Idols and Anchors or something like that. And I'm just like, man, that song kicked ass. And I tried to listen to the other, and it's pure scream. It's I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm like the screaming metal.
Yeah, the same like as Atreyu. Well, no, they're
no. It's the full version where they do not break into chorus, where it's pure scream. I'm like, so that album was one amazingly well done instrumental on top of screaming, and then the rest of it was screaming. And so I always wrote them off as, hey, there's just that band that does that. And then I go back and I listen to the album that came before it, the albums that have come after that album, and it's like, holy shit, I fucking love Parkway Drive. And like, yeah, he screams a lot, but I'm like, the instrumentation and all that shit, fucking great.
You didn't want to, like, it kind of sucks because when you kind of write a band off, like,
yeah, that's the exact frame of mind I had. So I started watching this dude called Punk Rock MBA. And he does breakdowns of, or like one of his series that he has is, why is this band so good? You know, why is At the Drive-In good? You know, kind of, he just breaks down why they were successful. Okay. And so one of the ones that I watched, what the hell was it? On Slipknot. Why was Slipknot so, or what makes this band great?
Well, because there's like a different waifu in there for everybody.
Exactly, you know? But he pointed out things that I didn't know about Slipknot, like the fact that the clown is the head guy. Like his idea or his Slipknot idea is what they are. Where fucking we're gonna wear masks, we're gonna wear jumpsuits, we're gonna be, you know, faceless. We are gonna be the voice of the people, and this was all in his head from the start of the band. And I'm like, wow, that's great. And I'm shocked that a bunch of fucking 9 assholes from Iowa fucking came together and said, yeah, we can do this. And fucking they play metal music, and you'd think those guys would be the most averse to saying, let's stay organized, you know?
Oh no, like they were surprisingly organized.
Yeah. And it's he breaks down fucking, this is their philosophy as a band. You know, they had a goal in mind. They set out to do it. The sound styles that they take on as they went through, like, I mean, you know, to like casual ears, it's all, you know, the same heavy thrashing, but I'm like, there's effects in there. And then later on, like, you get to stuff to like where Corey Taylor breaks off to go Stone Sour, and then he brings that sound back to him into Slipknot, and it's just like, yeah, you know, they evolved. Like, they stayed in their lane, but they were swerving over the road left and right, you know.
I've always liked bands like like Slipknot, and well, not always, but hold on. We'll unpack that here in a second. So welcome back to the super califragilisticexpialidocious Slipknot show.
Yeah, we are the pulse of the maggots. Or well, we're not the pulse because we are not Slipknot. We're like the ass end of the maggots. We're just gnawing on the leg over here.
So all right, so we'll be the butt part of the costume, and everybody else can be the head.
Yeah. Well, see, it works because my name's Max, so I can be Max Maggot.
Okay.
And then you're
Tim Ass of the Maggots.
You are something.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I don't know. That's not hardcore enough.
All right. Anyways, like, I really like how bands would do shit like this. Like, Audioslave did the same thing, and then Stone Sour's first album was the same way, where it was like, it was very much reminiscent of the band that they originated from. Like Audioslave's first album was like, oh, well, it's you know,
it's Soundgarden. It's Soundgarden with a knot in front of it.
Yeah, exactly. That. And Stone Sour was the same way, where it's like, oh, it's Slipknot, but it's different, but it's very much still Slipknot feeling.
It's Slipknot, but he's singing a lot more.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, this is like, it was still just as heavy, aside from like the one big acoustic track they had. It was just a lot of like very like,
it's you're getting the
thrashy,
you're getting the same grungy metal sounds, except Corey Taylor wants to expand his voice a little bit more.
Yeah, and
I'm like, that was really good. And then fucking you listen to that album and you're like, oh man, Stone Sour sounds so much like Slipknot. And then you go back and you listen to the next Slipknot album and you're like, Slipknot sounds a little bit like Stone Sour.
Yeah. And then like it took a while for the two bands to like have different sounds.
Yeah, they differentiate a bit more nowadays.
But yeah, it was definitely at the beginning where like the first Stone Sour album came out, and it was just like, Yeah, this is like Slipknot, but diet Slipknot.
Yeah,
This is a little more ice in my Slipknot,
But yeah, so the guy, the punk rock MBA guy, does the breakdowns of the bands and whatnot, and I'm like, this is the stuff I live for. This is the stuff I love to see on YouTube and shit. I like the information. I like seeing. I mean, yeah, it's on topics I already know about, but I didn't know this much.
Oh, you don't like the over clipping, like hella loud fucking T-pose?
No, I'm fucking.
I didn't even know what that was. Like, I understood. I can use my brain and intellectually guess what T-posing is.
Yeah.
And then I had to look it up because like some fucking kid posted on Twitter that like, oh, his high school dance is pretty much Fortnite dance and
oh my god,
and fucking T-posing.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
just like, so what do? They like do the fucking Fortnite dance and then they stop and T-pose?
And then they just put the arms out and just wiggle around.
That's it?
That's it? I don't know. Is that what they do in T-pose?
Yeah.
Oh my fuck. Yeah, no, that's it. There you go.
That's it. And it's
T-pose.
just like, okay, I guess.
Fucking Fortnite dance, dude. You cannot... that is too big. I fear if anyone in fucking at Epic Games, if anyone at Epic Games is evil and he starts putting subliminal messages in there, then fucking the world's doomed.
I was
you could take over the world with that because it already has.
So I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast and they were talking about like people think that they think certain ways and it feels like it's very mass hypnosis kind of deal where it's like we're talking like you're male feminists.
Oh god,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, did you just brainwash yourself into thinking this certain way where it's like, oh, I might as well castrate myself? Because like when you get into this like wave 3 or 4 or 3.5 feminism or whatever.
Oh god, they come in waves now.
Well, you don't know about the feminist wave theory?
I don't
so
follow
like
that.
the first one is like women should be allowed same rights and that's fine.
Yeah, no,
And
that's
then
equality.
The second wave is still the same where it's like women should have the right to choose like what they could do with their body as far as like, pro-life, pro-choice kind of deal, or things like what kinds of jobs and things they can pursue. So they're not just like relegated to sandwich maker and dishwasher.
Yeah, I mean that still falls under the category of, but no, I gotcha. Let's continue on. What's wave 3?
Wave 3 is women's superiority.
Oh, of course, because that promotes equality, being superior to others.
Yeah, exactly. And then like I just made up 3.5, but yeah, like 3 is where we're at, where it's like, well, women's vote should count 2 to 1. And fucking
Christ.
And I'm just like, dude,
we're outnumbered by men, so we should count for more. Is that it?
Except you're not.
You're just a person. You are one entity. You know?
And it's like, okay, they act like they have no fucking power in anything, but it's and I know I can only judge it through the subjective eyes that I have, but it's like, look, if you wanted to be really pissed off and you wanted to go on strike, y'all could just stop making babies, and then not like you can stop your fucking system, but like
I mean the ones in production are going to get made, or I mean, you know what,
they can just choose not to.
Yeah, pro-choice, you can choose for them not to be made, but the ones that aren't being made, the babies that aren't being made right now, you don't have to have them. You can stop having sex with men.
And then look,
now, there you go. Look, you won.
You won. You did it.
And
the end game is over.
And then you know who benefits from this? No one.
No one.
Except Japan and the fucking sex doll market.
Oh man,
they are too real nowadays.
They're becoming very real.
Oh my god, fucking! I mean, I can't cite the news story directly, but there was a news article that's like, these sex dolls are getting out of hand. How come the sex doll can't say no? And then they designed a sex doll that says no to you, and if it doesn't.
It's too real, because at first it was just simulating sex. Now it's like, we're going to simulate an entire relationship.
And you know what? I'm fine with that. You know why? Because I can turn that switch off.
Thanks for your fucking clickbaity fucking title where it's like, these sex dolls can say no, and that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing. And let me tell you why. Because, hey, there's a switch that says, I can turn that off, I can have a full healthy relationship between me and my sex doll, because it gives me the commands that I need to hear in response to my droning on about whatever nonsense I had that day,
Yeah, how many of you other fuckers are thinking that Max's sex doll looks a lot like Bowsette?
Oh man, God, she's taller than me. You know what? That's hard enough to do right now.
Oh man, I like that was one of my fucking prerequisites for like finding a girlfriend was like I don't want to. There's a few things. One of them is I don't really want her to be taller than me. And when I said that, I would always phrase it as she can't slam dunk on me. Like if she can slam dunk on me, that's
I don't know,
not
man.
gonna happen.
You know what? I think that's the point where you have to look at yourself and be like, why can't I jump? You know?
Because that movie said white men can't.
See, you're buying into the propaganda, man.
Yeah.
Because he totally smacked the ball out of
who did this come out of? Fucking Crooked Hillary or Low Energy Jeb? Like it came out of one of them.
One of them.
And then like the other things were like I can't have her bench press more than me.
Okay.
And I'm like I don't have many things to my identity, but if she can push more than like I can max over 275, like 285 I can do right now. If she can push more than 285, it's like, dude, I guess I don't have an identity anymore.
Well, see, that's why you just got to find the girl that can lift you, you know, and then she can princess carry you into the bedroom.
No, like, look, man,
hey, man, why are you conforming to the gender roles, or is that the term? Is that a term I should be using here?
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't conform to the gender roles as defined by society in the past. You have to be forward thinking about this, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking, why do I have to be the hunter? Why can't I be the gatherer, you know?
Yeah, why can't I just why do I have to be the hunter? Why can't I be the guy that just sits at home and plays video games?
All I'm saying is, hey, all those hot, sexy, smart chicks with good jobs, lots of money, and, you know, go to the gym constantly. Hey, I'm right here. You can treat me however you want. I'll take your money and sex.
So the question is that because like it's becoming so much more popular, like what you were saying with the whole sex doll market. It's like now all of a sudden we're gonna start to see what really is in the innards of people. Like, because if you can custom make it all the way, it's man. Like whoa. It's not even too much. This is at first the first wave is going to be great where everybody's going to be super happy with it like Netflix.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come all the way around where everybody starts getting really pissed off at it like Netflix.
Why don't you have the thing I like?
Yeah. But that's the truth though, right? Because it's like once people start catching on to it, it's like, "Oh my god, this is so awesome and it's perfect and it's great." But then
well, to be fair, the end game is fucking what Futurama told us, and how the world's just gonna end because no one's gonna breed anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
And that was incredibly foresight by them.
Very poignant on them to see that coming. They're like, oh man, what if we could make a Marilyn Monroe bot? Because if they gave me, you know what, I don't have to go into my fetish bag. You give me a Marilyn Monroe bot because she was hot. You know, that's it.
Yeah, and I'm just
and she calls me Mr. President. I'm a wear that orange tanning cream, and I'm gonna go to town.
Billy, do you want to walk your dog?
No thanks, Mom. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to get a paper route and earn some extra cash?
No thanks, Dad. I'd rather make out with my Monroe bot.
Billy, do you want to come over tonight? We can make out together.
Gee, Mavis, your house is across the street. That's an awfully long way to go for making out.
Yeah, because the whole idea is that it's like it's a more customizable Barbie, and it's just like I mean, unless she comes with the convertible, I don't really want to fuck Barbie.
And then if sex dolls come to fruition on a large scale en masse, you know, then we get into the same situation where we are now, where it's going to be like, I mean, aside from the whole woman outcry of, you know, why aren't you fucking me anymore? It's like, well, because there's less problems to be had in the doll. But like, then the other problem is, oh, hey, what are you doing with your sex doll? Why are you chaining it up? Oh, maybe I just like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going.
And then it's just, I mean, it's fetish shaming. Do you? I don't. Out of all the things that came out of all this crappy fucking Twitter crap, you know what? That's the most obvious that I'm like, you know what? We shouldn't shame each other for our fetishes. We also shouldn't be posting them on fucking Twitter, you know?
Yeah, welcome back to the morally ambiguous sex cast.
Oh yeah. Do what makes you feel good within reason.
Yeah, because the question is always like, where do we draw the line? Like, what if this fucking guy over here in Iowa wants a questionably aged sex doll? Or
it's a fucking sex.
See,
but no, that's
I
the
have
exact
to play
thing.
devil's advocate.
No, that's the exact thing I was gonna say too. I'm like, okay, so he fucking wants one that looks. Oh, let's get super creepy. He wants one that looks exactly like his 8-year-old niece. You know what? What do you say about that? Well, he's not going for his 8-year-old niece, at least.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's like the up. I'm looking at it as well. As long as it stays to only the doll and you're not hurting nobody else and you're not like bragging about it and posting pics, because like at the point where we're at with how realistic we can make them look, it's like
well, with the fucking point that we're at with people wanting to expose themselves on Twitter, fucking, you know, it takes an idiot to just jump out there and say, hey, look at fucking, it's like I'm really banging my 8-year-old niece. It's like, no, dude, no. If you're really thinking that, then we've got problems.
We've got some problems.
We can't
dude.
prosecute. We can't prosecute you for thought crimes. We cannot. But we can have you institutionalized on your own behalf because you are fucked up, dude.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, welcome back to the Scumbag and Friends show with your host Tim and, as always, my buddy Max.
Hey.
So, who do we got for Scumbag of the Week, Max?
Us, the sex doll industry. I think. You know what? I had so many running through my head, and you know why there's so many? Because there was none.
I was going to say,
it is so hard to find anybody.
I've got one later on in the stupid news. But did you see the woman that called the cops on the 9-year-old kid in New York?
Oh God, another one of these.
She was like buying cigarettes or something. She was like 52 years old. And
I was going to say the 9-year-old. Yeah, I fucking get that kid.
Well, okay, so back in the 70s, it wasn't weird for you to go to the bodega and grab fucking cigarettes for your parents. But until like all of a sudden the shopkeepers got wise to, well, you come in here to buy cigarettes for your parents, but then you go outside and start smoking them. Something don't add up here.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, she called the cops on a 9-year-old kid in Brooklyn, and she was like, "Oh, get out of my face!" He grabbed my ass and sexually harassing me. And I was like, I wonder which way the chips are gonna fall on this one.
Yeah, right.
Because because this is the whole like, you shouldn't really declare sides because it's fucking. You should start by thinking for yourself first and saying like, hey, what do I like out of this situation, you know, and not drag politics or any of that bullshit in here, but like pragmatically, what do I like out of this? What do I want to have happen out of this?
Right.
And pragmatically, if keeping all the stuff, like all the superfluous stuff away from it, it's like, you probably shouldn't have called the cops. He's 9 years old and he didn't grab your ass. He kind of hit your ass with his backpack because she bent over the counter to like buy a pack of cigarettes, and he's walking by and he hits her with his bag because like the security footage is showing it.
That's the best.
But she wants him put in jail, and of course the kid's, you know, of color. He's black.
Oh, even better.
So that's why I was like, I wonder where the media and the people are going to fall on this one.
So we got the age difference. We got, you know, are you going to prosecute a child? And then we've got the hashtag Me Too aspect of it because she was sexually assaulted by the backpack, and then you've got the racial part of it because I'm assuming she's white.
Yeah, she was white, and the kid was black.
And on top of this all, you've got just perfect evidence. Thank you, cameras. You know?
she was bent over the counter. He was talking to his mom, and by the time the cops got there, he was crying up a storm, like apologizing.
For sure, he's a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah,
and I'm sure she went off the wall screaming at him.
The woman that is the quote unquote victim on this one, she was just like, "Oh, I want him thrown in jail forever."
Jesus
kind of deal.
Christ!
And it's just like, oh my God. This is not what you should be like teaching children, that one mistake can fuck up your entire life. I mean, it can, but not this type of mistake.
This is the kind of shit. Oh my God. This is the kind of shit that reinforces. So black people raise their kids with the whole victim complex. People of color, anybody, you know, any minority has this whole victim complex as they're being raised, saying, you know, fucking watch what you do because, you know, you might get the cops called on you. Because I had that shit as a kid growing up as a Hispanic nature. Fucking, it's like, oh, if you're running around, you might get caught by the cops. Well, doing what? You might get caught by the cops. That's it.
Yeah,
you know?
I had the same shit told to me.
And it's just like, yeah, but this is reinforcing that something insane like this. Like we've got it on camera. You're a crazy broad.
Yeah, because this used to be something that could be solved with the mom looking at the kid like, hey, you need to apologize to her.
Yeah, apologize for bumping into the nice lady.
Yeah, even if it was an accident, it's still, you need to do the right thing and apologize.
No, it's, he sexually assaulted me. It's like, come on, grandma.
Hey, hold on. And if I was the parent of the kid, it's like, hey, like, look, it's okay. Nobody was harmed, and I'm terribly sorry, and so is my kid. You can see he's crying right now.
I wonder how the mom handled it. Because if the kid was crying and the cops still came, then probably not well, you know.
Yeah, it's
like
this woman fucking that brought my piss to a boil. I was just like, holy fucking shit. Like, we don't need to get this is such a waste of fucking taxpayers' money, because it's like you're paying the fucking cop to go there instead of like, hey, fucking there's crimes that need to get solved, and I'm not talking about
this is
your
New York
fucking,
City too, right?
Yeah.
So it's the big city, and there's plenty of crimes to go around.
Yeah,
there.
I was like, there's fucking, I'm glad we pulled this guy off of fucking solving the case of like human trafficking or some other fucking bullshit to like, hey, can you come over here and arrest this 9-year-old forever? By the way,
Yeah, by the way,
like
I want
no
him locked
trial,
away.
no trial, no none of that bullshit. Just put him in jail forever.
If he's doing this now, just imagine in 2 years, Oh my
God.
God. It's it's something else. And I don't know if that's better than my scumbag.
All right.
My
What do you
scumbag's an old one. So do you remember the Fire Festival?
Oh yeah, that was from last year,
Yeah,
though,
that's
wasn't
from
it?
last year, yeah. So the asshole that organized this all, the guy that scammed everybody, and it was hilarious to me. I loved it. Like, it was the whole promise of big musicians on an island and just a big getaway.
Yeah.
It's essentially like the Burning Man, but he wanted it to be on an island. And then
This wasn't the first year of it, though.
Oh,
So
was
like,
it?
no, yeah, you got it.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
I want to clear
See,
this up for the listeners.
this is the first I
like-
heard of this.
This is like the 5th or 6th year this went on, but this was the first time that it was an actual scam.
Oh, nice.
The first few times there was actually performances.
Oh, nice.
And even though people would drop out, like Jay-Z had a big hand in the first Fire Festival. Like, he performed at the first one.
All right.
This one was like, no, this one
Yeah,
was an
this one-
actual scam.
This one was hilarious because it was fucking like just shitty white tents everywhere. They
Yeah,
weren't even
yeah.
put up. They had like plates of paper plates for your food that was just like extra crappy, like taco truck style. Let's wheel this hot food out here, Let's just keep it under the heat lamps for you. And he was promoting it like, oh, it's gonna be a big festival.
huge,
Yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be huge. We're gonna have gourmet chefs and fucking. Who the fuck was it? Ja Rule invested in it and all this shit.
Ja Rule. Oh, cool. I'm glad we're back in 2003 where he was relevant.
Where he was fucking Christ. You want to go on a jag here, fucking with relevance, fucking.
That's all we ever do.
Oh yeah,
That's all we ever do.
So JoJo's new fucking season came out, and fucking the writer of the manga was just used everything that he heard on the radio, everything he saw on TV as characters in his story. So the part 5 is about a kid in Italy who wants to grow up and be a gang star, like gang star,
Oh, like the
like pop star, but
the rapper.
but as a gangster.
Okay.
But in Italy, I believe it's set in the 80s, early 90s, and so
Was Uganda Knuckles there?
no, but Notorious B.I.G. is a character.
Oh, sweet.
And fucking in the previous episode, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and fucking Jodeci is singing the fucking ending theme, and I'm just like, man, you want to fucking
What
do
is
callbacks?
going on?
Yeah. Anyway, back to Ja Rule and his fucking scam artist buddy. He finally fucking got. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison, and the remorse I feel is crushing. And I'm just like, I don't think he should have gotten 6 years. If this was the first time it came off completely as a scam, I don't think it should have gotten 6 years. It definitely should have, gotten everybody their money back, which I'm pretty sure was the
I
first
don't
thing
think
that happened.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think anybody got their money back.
Jesus
Maybe some portion of it, but from my understanding, it was that as soon as he had the money, he gave it to investors or other people, or he was, robbing these people to pay other debts that he had from previous Fire Festivals.
Fucking Christ.
So it's just like, because the way that I read about it, the lawyers were talking about it as like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Okay.
Kind of deal. So it's
so he jumped in the first time and he put on a good show, but he didn't get anything out of it, so he had to do the next one.
Yeah.
It's getting a credit card to pay off your other credit cards.
Yeah, exactly. So that was what was happening, and it kind of all blew up on him right
Jesus.
now. And you got to remember, like, when I'll fill the listeners in on some of the details I know. It's like when he was selling people these packages, it was like anywhere between $10,000 to up to $100,000. Like, hey, you buy the $100,000 package, and then you can have like your cabana next to Imagine Dragons, and then you can have like your front row seat as they perform, and then like you get to hang out in their cabana at the end of the show, and blah blah blah. And it's like you got the super elaborate package as compared to like just the 10 G's will get you a general admissions wristband and a room and stuff.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
like, 10 G's is still a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, no, fucking
Like, my first car was worth less than $1,000, so it would be 11 of my first car, which was a 1989 Nissan 240SX, and that thing now would be like $600, and it was stick shift. So, and if you want the best anti-thievery device known to man, it's stick shift.
There you go. You just come out and your car's moved a few feet and the fucking gear's all grinded.
Yeah, if I could fucking put a stick shift on my house, that would be the best way for nobody to ever come in. It's just like
doors wide open. They walk in, they see the gears, and like, nah,
I don't know how to drive
what's
this.
What's a clutch for?
Well, like I know gas and brake, but what's this third pedal?
That's crazy. That's the emergency brake.
Yeah. So what else you got?
But yeah, no. So he was sitting in court and he's just saying I'm sorry, apparently multiple times during his sentencing hearing, and he begged the district court judge for leniency, and his sister and his mother wept, and his father held his head in his hands, and he said he faced violence in prison so far, and that, quote, the best way to be sorry is through my future actions, because he wanted to get probation, he wanted to get house arrest or something like that.
Oh yeah, because that way he can go out there and fucking rip more people off.
Right. Well, that's the question. It's like, does rehabilitation happen? Would he change his mind after this?
Yeah.
Would anyone trust his name?
I don't
to
think
do
so.
it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like he would be lucky to get like a regular 9-to-5 job, because he's not going to get an investor job anymore.
Fuck no. It's like, because your name's out there, your face is out there. Oh yeah, you look like that guy that ripped off millions of dollars from millions of people. Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, scumbag, huge scumbag. Did he get what he deserved? That's the real question. It's like 6 years enough? Is prison necessary for something like this?
It is a white collar crime, but it's still like white collar crimes are just as bad, because it's taking money away from people that could have also gotten it, that would have used it like honestly.
Right.
Is 6 years enough? I don't know. I think it's from what I've heard, it's just about right for people that are first-time offenders, but we're talking like he embezzled into the millions of dollars.
Yeah, he's had this snowball building for a long time.
Yeah, and it's not like he robbed one person. We're talking he scammed thousands of people out of money. God. See, this is why we need vigilante justice. We need a Batman to come in, break both his legs, shatter his jaw, and just leave him on the street crippled for a while. Yeah, like it's like we should have like the Punisher, except the BDSM Punisher, so he could just go over there and give him a spanking for being a bad boy.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, it's the idea of what is the severity of the crime? Does this affect people's lives that negatively? Can we prove that? I mean, we can prove that he took the money, but to what extent did this harm the people? I don't know. Like, there were people that the first fucking day that it came out, of course, every horror story known to man came out, where it was like, oh my God, we had to eat canned food, like some sort of animal. Yeah, I had to live like a dog. We only got 2 drinks that day. Yeah, like my margarita wasn't even blended. I mean, you're fleecing the money from the people. I got that. Yeah. If there's a way to get the money back to them, can you forgive and forget? I mean, aside from the social impact of him being a found criminal, it's like, can we put like how we have a sex offenders list, can we have like don't trust this guy with money list, Oh, so he can never have a credit card again? There you go. And I mean, like, it seems right, because like, look what he's doing with other people's money. Exactly. That's essentially what a credit card is. You want to fucking ruin their credit line, then bam, you're in the dumps. You're always labeled as a shitbag. Fucking, you got to buy fucking the $900 vehicle if you ever want a new one. Yeah. Okay, so changing gears here real quick, because we drive a stick shift car. Oh, yeah. Did you see Amy Winehouse is going out on tour? Who is she again? They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no. Oh, yeah. That song was fucking huge 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I saw her name pop up. I'm like, she was one of those people during that time period where everyone was getting busted for drugs, I think. Oh yeah, and she's dead. This is a hologram. Oh, good. Hologram. No, holographs are the Pokemon cards where they like glitter. Oh, okay. Yeah. Apparently, those are made with actual shards of glass. Oh, I guess. That's metal. I should have saved some. No, like not actual
pieces of glass because it's a fucking playing card, but like there's little bits of something like metallic or glass or some shit that gives it the shimmer.
Oh, cool.
Right. Well, like it's important not to eat it.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
poison
you're giving this to a bunch of kids, you know. I'm amazed I didn't lick them.
Yeah,
as dumb as I was.
Anyway, she's out on tour. Now, I was proposing the question, who do you think the shittiest hologram is that they could make? I mean, like, I know we have some of the best. We have, you know, Freddie Mercury or Michael Jackson or David Bowie. But, like, who's going to be the worst? Is it, like, David Carradine or, like, Logan Paul? I mean, I know Logan Paul's not dead, but, like, his channel is.
His channel is.
So,
he might as well be.
He might as well be a hologram.
His next video is just going to be him hanging in the forest, and then it's just going to have a big prank with a sad face.
Yeah, and then it's him walking up on him, hanging from the forest. And it's just like, whoa, this was too deep.
Yeah, right? Because he's a hologram.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I was wondering how authentic this show feel is going to be, you know?
Isn't she, like, I'm trying to think, didn't they put Tupac with someone else?
They did do, like, a Tupac and somebody else bit, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I know they have Hatsune Miku goes around all the time with people. I mean, the Gorillas is a thing, but that's not holograms. That's, like...
They're still actual people, right? Like, they're still actually singing. It's
on
just
the
they're
Gorillas?
singing... yeah, like it's some weird like puppeteer shit where it's like the gorilla holograms are out there like doing the show and they're singing via the mouth movement.
Sadly enough, it's just a bunch of people going to a concert and listening to a tape play over loudspeaker.
No way, because that's what I feel like. I don't want that to be this.
That's
too.
what it is. That's what it always is. That's why I was like, because like Tupac was kind of a thing. Because I mean, yeah, it's Tupac Shakur alive again, but I'm like,
but
they had him on
him
stage
sing with
someone.
somebody else. Yeah,
so I'm like, that's the thing. But like Gorillaz, their whole stage show is on TV. Hatsune Miku is the same thing, where it's like, here's her hologram dancing. There's no one else interacting with her. It's just a tape cassette playing.
Oh my!
So I'm like, if Amy Winehouse isn't with anyone else, then it's gonna be Amy Winehouse. And I didn't know her enough to care that she died.
I knew the one song, and then when she died, everybody was like super heartbroken on all over social media, and I was just like, I only knew the one song, and I'm like, did you guys really like delve deep into her like catalog, or did you like her for a long time? And I wasn't trying to ask as to be an asshole because I normally am, but was like an earnest thing. Like
it's like, no, I really don't know.
I feel like she was around for fucking 5 minutes, and that now she's dead, and everybody wants to hold a candlelight vigil and take back the night because she fucking OD'd.
Because she OD'd,
and I'm just like, what the like. What was in her fucking music catalog? Should I check it out? Is what I'm asking. Not like, hey, was she some dirty skank or whatever? I don't care about like the personal part.
I don't care if she deserved to die. I want to know, is she deserving of being remembered?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, they're like, oh, I had one girl that I was talking to at the time that I was trying to like, you know, get with, and she was like, how dare you?
How dare you? Well, to be fair, Tim, this would be the same as those assholes that asked you why you like Michael Jackson, you know?
Yeah, I mean, how dare you?
How dare you? Because her performance has clearly impacted everybody's life in the same way.
Yeah, I get it.
But to answer your question, fucking Bruce Willis, when he passes away, he will be the worst hologram.
Because that album sucks.
Because that album blows.
Secret agent man.
Fucking bless his heart for putting himself out there, though.
Yeah. Oh, so real quick. I've had this tinfoil hat theory for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So, how long do you think it's going to be before we have animals having the right to vote?
I mean, if the Democrats have their way, it'll be fucking next election. Hey.
No, but I mean, like, because we are coming up on election season soon.
Right.
How long before do you think? Because, like, realistically, you already have your pets traveling with you, like on planes.
I was gonna say it's gonna be coming from the people that have the comfort pets, you know, not normal pet owners, but like, no, you treat my dog as a person. You know, I bought this seat for my dog. It's like, no, your dog goes in a carrying case.
Yeah, because I've already seen dogs go to movies.
Oh Jesus!
So like,
I hope it was a CNI dog.
Yeah,
does it bark and explain the film? That's the best.
Like, I realistically want to know how long we are until like pets can vote, because
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
because people will talk about their cats as if it's one of their relatives. Like, oh my God, she has so many personalities. She's so catty, if you will.
Oh my God.
But because the reason why I'm espouting this theory is that, like, I've been trying to sell Brian on it for a long time, that the election in 2036 or 2040 is going to be dog versus robot. Fucking.
I mean, to be fair, I would vote for the robot.
Yeah.
I want a cold, unfeeling machine. I don't need emotions getting in the way of my.
Well, yeah, because that's
decisions.
essentially what it is, right? Is because it's a cold calculating machine versus lovable fucking all emotions.
Yeah, because when Kim Jong-un has to meet with him, all he has to do is throw him a bone, and suddenly the dog's on his side. And I don't need that. He's just going to roll over because he said roll over.
Yeah, and then it's like, who wants some tummy rubs?
Not my president.
Yeah, hashtag
I'm not with him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, it's one of those things, because it's like, as soon as you give the animals the right to vote, which is like, I already fucking hate the fact that people are lobbying to get kids the right to vote.
Oh, Jesus
And I'm
Christ.
like, your brain isn't really fully formed until...
Ask them who their local politician is. Ask them who their senator is. If a kid can tell me, like, their governor and their senator, which I can't even do, but if a kid can do that, then that shows he has enough interest and he has enough insight to be able to identify the people at least.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, okay, you have a chance at having a voice. Count the kids' vote as 1/5.
Yeah, because they're like 1/5 a person.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
They
'cause,
kind
like,
of. Hey, until you enter the workplace, you're useless to me as in society.
Yeah.
You're just a drain until you're out there making money for the rest of us.
fuck. But I just, it's one of my fucking crackpot theories. It doesn't seem too far off.
I could see fucking California or the state of Washington lobbying for something stupid like that. It's like, I'm going to go in with my dog, and so I should get a second vote. It'll be something like that. It won't be my dog votes. It'll be, I get a second vote to speak for my pet's rights.
Yeah,
or something.
But
like
then
that.
exactly, like, okay, you're gonna argue this bullshit, and it's like, it's a dog. It doesn't understand the policies.
It's like, you get one vote for yourself, and hey, if you want to look out for your dog more and vote for that guy that's going to give the dog rights over you, fine, do it, whatever.
Sure.
Throw it away, go independent. That's what they talk about.
I'm like, look, let's be real here. Your dog doesn't really care if the power company has a monopoly or not. Yeah. Like, it doesn't care, but you're going to argue some bullshit like, oh, well, my dog really would like it to be a fair trade kind of enterprise where, competition should kind of dictate the price of power or some fucking bullshit. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. That's not what your dog thinks. It thinks, man, I can't wait to get my tummy rubbed. Oh man, I can't wait for a treat.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, I haven't had a tummy rub in like a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, my owner's dead. Let me eat his corpse to sustain myself for now. I mean, fucking, they don't care.
Well, like, the dogs don't do that. Cats definitely do. Cats will fucking eat you if you die.
Yeah, no, cats will kill you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Just lay on your face.
Yeah, no, the fucking...
Be careful.
Dogs historically, it's like when their owners die, like, they lay down next to them hoping that they'll come back.
Yeah.
But, like, they get really fucking sad, and I'm like,
see, that's terribly sad. And you know how we can understand that sad? Because we're smart. God damn it, we have that higher level of intelligence. The dog will lay there until he dies.
Yeah,
because he doesn't understand.
If we don't hook up a fucking rope to the fridge, it can't even open the fridge. How is it supposed to get my beer?
God, I can't. You know what? I want your future to happen. I want to go to the polls, and then I want to see them strapping in the dogs into like the mad scientist thing with like the with the strainer for a hat, the fucking
colander.
Yeah, the colander on their head, and the wires are sticking out everywhere, and you got the Tesla coil going in the background for no reason. That does nothing for machines. It just looks cool.
It's very good for movies.
Yep. And then a nonpartisan individual will come in and ask the dog, "Who do you want to vote for?" And he'll bark, and then it'll print out on the machine, and he has to read it out of the fucking punch card. Oh my
God! It's like, oh man, if my dog could vote, it wouldn't vote Trump.
Oh God! Yeah, it would vote whoever the most looks like a bone.
Yeah.
So who was the palest one in the last election?
Bernie.
Yeah, it'll vote for him. He's nearly dead.
Yeah, he's closest to death. He's closer to death than anybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I fucking loved when Bernie was talking shit about Trump's health. I was like, you're fucking 85, dude.
Jesus.
Like, you can't even stand up too quickly. Like, he's already standing, and it's like, I don't think we fucking laid you down, right, Bernie? Because it's like, we had to hand truck you everywhere because if you stand up too fast, you're gonna go right fucking down,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You and fucking Hillary also, right?
He just goes from sitting to vertical and then just face plants.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god.
God.
All right,
Take care of yourselves, people. Don't become Bernie.
all right.
It'll
so
be Weekend at Bernie's eventually. Just a mental
we
image
had
right
to-
there.
We had to prop him up as the fucking president. Like, we got two
Oh my
guys
God.
walking him around.
Two fucking bro dudes with the fucking beer hats on, taking them to the fucking throw out the first pitch.
Did you know there's a sequel to that? Like, this will be a great lead-in to Do You Feel Old Yet? But did you
Okay.
know there's a sequel to
There's
that
a
movie?
sequel. Wait, I
So-
remember there was 1 and 2.
So yeah,
Are you telling me there's
yeah.
a 3?
No, there's 2 on
Okay,
the second
okay.
one. So
Yeah,
the first
no.
one was like these dudes want to party hard, but they had to bring their boss, and they're at some fucking Cancun resort
Hell
or some
yeah.
shit. But he died. But the only way they could stay at spring break was to bring him around.
Yep, and
And-
pretend. Well, because they're also on his dime too. They're using his cards, and they're like, "Oh, he's got. We can just rack up a huge tab because he's our boss, and everyone knows him and loves him."
Yeah,
so
and he's
they're-
already dead, so
Yeah.
it's not like we care who's paying the bill.
exactly. You know, we're just gonna have fun, and then we'll just leave the body somewhere. Man, these guys were fucking criminals.
So do you know what the plot was to the second? It's not the same as the first.
I don't remember.
The second one was they had to get in touch with like a voodoo doctor because they were going to do a seance to bring him back to life.
Oh, I do remember.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then he started dancing down the street on his own,
Yeah, exactly.
and he had to follow the music. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, he had to follow the music. Oh,
So fucking,
man.
they were having like big festivals and like the trucks that would be blazing the music, and he'd just start walking down. Oh man,
That movie sucked.
that movie was dumb. I'm gonna go watch that movie.
All right, so
man.
we'll get into some Do You Feel Old Yet?
I don't feel old yet. I don't. I feel like one of the dudes that wants to carry around Bernie. It's time to party.
You're old.
Okay, so with Do You Feel Old Yet? As always, we kind of reminisce about things that happened on certain days throughout the week prior, but in the past few years.
It's like take this week, but time shift us back.
Yeah. So, starting us off, October 10th, 2017, Thor Ragnarok.
That was
So
a whole what? Oh man, like
a whole year ago. I put this down because I actually really wanted to just talk about this movie and how great it was.
just trying to think. Man, I was so young back then, so full of life.
Yeah, I didn't think the world was shitty. Even though we did get a new president, it's like, man, remember when everybody thought that we were going to lose all our rights?
Oh man,
And
yeah.
everybody was going to go to prison and The Handmaid's Tale and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm still waiting
Yeah,
for that
right.
wall, too.
I mean, if you want to talk about things to wait for,
Fuck.
fucking watching Thor 2, and I'm like, man, I hope they give us a good fucking Thor movie, and I had to wait for this one.
Oh, this one was
This one
fucking
was
stellar.
Fucking worth. Who the fuck was the director on this?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. What the hell did he do?
He played Korg or whoever, the rock guy.
Oh, that's right. He played that dude.
He was the voice, but the only other thing I've ever seen him do, he did another movie called Boy I haven't seen, but he did a movie called What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, cool. Sounds
If
cool.
you haven't seen either of these, I think they're both on Amazon.
Oh, cool.
Like, do you still have Prime?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then yeah, watch this because it's on Prime Video. Watch What We Do in the Shadows. It is one of the best fucking like mockumentary kind of style movies because it's like, do you remember Spinal Tap? Like how that was like a
Yeah.
fake documentary?
Yeah.
This is a fake documentary except about vampires.
Oh, good.
And it's just so fucking great. And it's one of the best like labor of love type of movies because this was made on like not a micro budget, but it was made on a low budget.
Okay.
But it's just so fucking funny. It's like if,
I was gonna say, I'm like, it's probably not drama. It's probably comedy because Thor is fucking hilarious.
yeah, because the guy Taika Waititi in that movie, he was one of the vampires. But it's like, what if old like colonial fucking Bram Stoker vampires were in today's modern world?
Hey, I can
And
dig it.
they couldn't figure out how to like use the internet.
Oh, good. So it's just old people. it's just him on a daily basis.
Yeah,
people.
it's just, yeah. But okay, so Thor. This movie was fucking great, and this like kind of made me remember that like Jeff Goldblum was a guy.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm like, I occasionally catch the morning show here and there, and he'll pop up for no reason. Like they're like stretching for guests, and he'll just pop up. Oh, you got a book to promote or something? No, I'm just Jeff Goldblum. So I remember, I know he's been crazy ever since like Jurassic Park era. From that point on, he's like, I have a name, but I don't know what to do with it. So he just kind of sits around.
He gave the aliens a virus,
yeah,
computer virus,
right? But fucking and then he just pops up randomly in fucking Thor Ragnarok as not the Collector, the
Grand Master,
the Grand Master, whatever, the Lord of the Planet. Fucking, yeah. I don't know. Like the whole of the film, I loved both parts of the movie. The movie could have been split right in two, and you could have given me two good experiences from it. You could have gone for the original Thor feeling, where it's like very Shakespearean feeling, like everything is going kind of epic fantasy.
Yeah, because the whole like story arc with him and Kate Blanchett as Hela, like Hela and Thor's story arc could have been its own fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
But then also Thor on Planet Trash could have been its own movie too.
Right, and it's like you get the joy of. You get the drama, you get all that suspense with him and what's going on Thor's home planet in Asgard, and then you get Planet Hulk happening over on the other side of the movie. And it's one of those movies, like I don't remember the exact running time, but it's like halfway through I'm like, is this movie over yet? But not like in a good or bad way, just in a real questioning way. It's like, they're just giving me more movie after this, is this going to cliffhanger me into a sequel? No, it's going to give me a full movie experience, thank God.
Yeah.
But fucking, I'm like, the tonal shifts between the two were kind of threw me out of whack, but I liked both parts,
I loved this movie. It took Thor from being a dull character like in the first two Thor movies to being something that it's like, oh, this is funny, this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah,
he displayed like, oh, he became like a real fucking badass, like a superhero badass in this movie. He did all kinds of shit, and it was like, oh, this was really cool. But like, there were parts where it was just like, Jeff Goldblum's Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. And he's
just a character actor.
He's great.
Not like he plays a character.
Yeah.
Every character is him.
Yeah, he is a character.
Yeah, every character he plays in every movie is Jeff Goldblum.
He's one of those people that's like, well, I've got enough money to live comfortably. Time to just fuck around.
Yeah.
At least I think that's what's going through his mind. Otherwise, he's just crazy. You know?
He's just a little crazy. But the rest of the movie was still like, even Jeff Goldblum wasn't a bad part of the movie. It was just like, that's just who he is. Every time I see his
a highlight.
name,
the reason it keeps coming up is because he's a highlight of the movie, because he was fun.
Every time I see his name attached to anything, it's just like, oh, well, I know what character he's going to play.
Yeah, he's going to be him.
Yeah, so like I always put him in the same ballpark as Will Smith, and I'm just like, if those two were ever in a movie together, it would be Independence Day.
It would be Independence Day.
Because they play themselves,
and there you go. And I'd like, okay, enough of him. So Thor is fantastic. Like, they go from fucking, like, he starts off as a frat boy, which Thor is in the comic books. Because he's always like, I feel like because he's like he's one of the highest powered characters in all of the comics, that everyone always looks at him like he is a god, and they always hold him in high reverence. But then whenever he's actually doing something, whenever he's having a storyline, he's always just mucking about. He's just having a blast with it, and I love that they're bringing that into the movies, like times 10, clearly, because he's going way more fucking ham-fisted with it. Fucking just the opening sequence with Surtur, I think it was, where he's just like doing like some funny jackass thing, like, oh wait, I'm rotating into the chains, hold up a second, I'm not trying to ignore you, and I'm like, he's just throwing the quips at him, and I'm like, yeah, that's Marvel, but it feels really good for him.
At first it felt very out of character, and then as the movie kept going on, it was like, oh, this is much better than the old Thor.
They're saying, this is Thor, you know, like fucking, this is he's a frat boy, fucking whatever. So, he loves it.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. October 11th, 2006, Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Okay, so this was the last one of the regular Mortal Kombat arcs. This one was prided and toted about because it was supposed to have every character.
Wait. Was this the game or the movie?
This is the game.
Okay.
That was Annihilation.
That was Annihilation. That's right. Oh, man. Armageddon.
This one
was this on?
All of them.
All of them at the time?
Yeah,
2006?
like PS2, Xbox. So what happened with this one was it also had the fucking party game equivalent for Mortal Kombat on it also. Judging by your face, it looks like you'd never played this one. So you had every fucking character you could play.
Yeah.
Right? But then there was also like a balloon race kind of thing
where
you could
this
go
is the
kart.
one. This was the one with the fucking Mortal Kombat cart, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat cart.
That's the only thing I remember playing off of this actually, and it was dumb, and it was
worse than Mario Kart.
It really was bad.
But it was it's run of the mill Mortal Kombat. I don't remember what the story was for this one because it was like it opened with everybody kind of just running at each other because it's a war.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck else is new?
It's
always fucking the outer realm or outworld versus fucking regular world, and it's what the fuck else is new?
There's probably an evil wizard.
Yeah,
fucking Shang
there
Tsung
always is. It's Quan Chi or Shang Tsung.
Fucking
or fucking
I mean, to be fair, Shao Kahn was also kind of a wizard.
Yeah, Shao Kahn. Yeah,
Fucking
all
Christ.
of them, always with the wizards.
Yeah, fucking. So it was like. Was this one of the 3D ones, or was it just back to classic?
It was 3D.
Oh my fucking god! I hated the whole fucking 3D versions of all of them.
Yeah,
they're so bad.
Yeah, because you had sidestepping. I always hated the way Midway had their games for fighters because it was like
just the block button. The block button existing was so bad.
There was one like I remember back in 2002 or some shit like that. Like Mortal Kombat had like their side scroller game where it was like a beat 'em up.
Yeah. The
like
Sub-Zero Mythologies.
Yeah, Sub-Zero Mythologies, right? I hated that one because that one implemented the turn button. So you had to hit a button to face a certain direction.
Fucking Christ.
And they put that in one of the next ones after that.
That's
so
great.
One of the fighting games also had a turn button, and it's just Jesus goddamn Christ.
That's great.
Like you had too many things going on for you already. You had block and now a turn button and a run button. You remember run? Run used to be a button.
That's right. Fucking man, Mortal Kombat is such a jank series, man.
It's so bad, but it's gotten so much. It has all the accolades because you could just throw fucking characters in and people love it.
Yeah,
I'm not like a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
I feel like it's so janky, but it's never been shit. Or like there's games that I consider shit. There's games that I wouldn't play. Fucking, if you're telling me Armageddon's one of the 3D ones, and I'm really trying to think. I'm pretty sure I saw a Let's Play of one of it. Where it had like all the like literally all the characters.
Yeah, this one
and
was
then a bunch
one
of
that's supposed to have all of them.
And then a bunch of like newcomers and shit. I remember there's being like probably this is the one with the bat vampire chick, the fucking the female Motaro, fucking oh man, I'm just that fat dude that farts and pisses on people. Bo Raicho. Fuck that guy. Dude.
Like their whole fucking cast of people is terrible too.
It is really bad. God, how did it? I don't get it, man.
It was the goriest game there was.
It is, and it's been outshone by other people, and yet Mortal Kombat continues to go. God bless them.
Yeah, well, because because of how prolific they are, they got the rights to all these other stupid fucking people you can throw in the game. Fucking what the hell, the aliens from Alien?
Oh, that's
Xenomorph.
Right. Fucking yeah,
the Xenomorph is in
They've
this
got
one.
Predator.
And Predator and Jason and Freddy and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
they got all these fucking people and still the regular cast of fucking Jax with and
it's Midway Games just kept making schlock. They're doing B movies like everyone else is making games at fucking indie level or fucking AAA level. No, Midway is making a fighting game that's like equivalent to a B movie. It's a slasher flick coming out every fucking 2 years or something, and they keep going.
Yeah,
and they get licensed or they get bought by WB.
Oh, and they also had the rights to DC for a while too. Remember Injustice?
Injustice is the thing. Injustice is huge. It's one of the big names at fighting game tournaments.
I always see it, and I'm like, the gameplay looks so stiff and shitty, but I want to see the story arc because the story at least looks like the Injustice fucking comics were actually kind of cool. Where it's this is the whole what if Superman was a bad guy kind of thing.
Is that it?
It's not if he was a bad guy, but it like who's to stop him if he wanted to take over the world kind of deal.
I didn't mean that in a negative way. I meant maybe that's the secret. Maybe the story is that good. I do remember playing through the arcade versions of Mortal Kombat just to see what happens at the end, because it is so ridiculous. It's fucking time traveling, fucking, yeah, like you said, it's Outworld. You're traveling between portals, and the gods have to fight with fucking Raiden stepping in, and man, that story was a mess. But yeah, okay. Maybe that's this, man. I want to.
That's got to be the secret sauce, because it's not the gameplay.
I hope someone somewhere did a lore breakdown of Mortal Kombat. I hope. I pray.
Oh,
I need to
I
find
hope so
that.
too, because I'm sure the lore is actually worth reading or watching or something.
I mean, the movies were worth watching.
Okay, so standing the two next to each other, because that was the only like apt comparison at the time, was Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Street Fighter was a better game to play, I feel. But the movie was much worse than the Mortal Kombat movie. But Mortal Kombat was a much worse game to play. Everything felt stiff about that game by comparison.
I don't know, man. I like to go back and play some old games, and every time I hit Street Fighter, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really like I like Street Fighter 2.
That's what I mean. Not like
I like Street Fighter 2 compared to Mortal Kombat, you know?
Okay.
And then I like Mortal Kombat for all those like after 2 passed and they started to go into the shitty iterations of 3 before Alpha, because Alpha was good.
You mean for Street Fighter? Yeah,
because Street Fighter has this bad thing where it makes rehashes, but it just adds like an acronym or like a name at the end of it. So Street Fighter 2 becomes 2 Turbo and 2 Super
World
Edition
Champion
and World Champion, and fucking Street Fighter 3 came out and I didn't like it. And then it had iteration upon iteration until it became Alpha or whatever.
Alpha 3 was
Alpha 3 was
sweet.
Hell yeah, it was. But Mortal Kombat did the same shit at the same time, where it's
yeah, that's right, because it was like Mortal Kombat 3, then Trilogy,
and then 3 Ultimate.
3 Ultimate,
somewhere in between, I don't know. And then fucking we get to Armageddon at some point, and it's just like at this point, Street Fighter. I'm pretty sure Street Fighter was dead at the time.
This was 2006, so like CVS already came out.
Yeah, this was Street Fighter was dead.
Yeah, Street Fighter
was dead. Versus Series was still alive. Fucking
that was Capcom's like saving grace, is that they had the better fucking Versus game in their back pocket also.
For sure.
Because like Mortal Kombat versus like DC or Injustice pretty much was what it is. It's just like all of this is terrible.
Man, I'm gonna fucking make a diorama in my room of just the breakdown of fighting game timelines, because there's points in the timeline where Street Fighter dies and then Mortal Kombat has to carry, and then Tekken carries at some point. It's
I'm sure Tekken carried during that time.
Just as a genre, fucking fighting games are weird. I'm especially when we get shitfest like Armageddon that are able to fucking stand
and
up.
It's just like, oh well, how are we gonna sell this one? I got it. Let's have them race go-karts.
It's funny.
Ha 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 ha.
But
man,
my final word, I'm never gonna knock a game that gives me all the characters, you know? Like as long as you keep the mechanics similar to like the past in the series, that's fine. Give me all the characters, yeah, sure. If I liked Mortal Kombat, I'd play that, and I'd love having everybody. You know?
Yeah, I guess I can't knock a game that gives you a free like shitty version of Mario Kart with it also.
Hell yeah. Hey, it's free. It's technically free.
It came with the game.
You're losing money by not getting this game.
Okay, so this one's kind of weird. October 12th, 1969, a DJ in Detroit, WKNR, talks about getting a call for Strawberry Fields Forever, and then if you play it backwards, John Lennon says in the song, "I buried Paul," and this was the start of the Paul McCartney being dead rumor. Are you aware of any of this?
I was unaware of this.
That's okay. So cool. There, like, for people still today, because Paul McCartney's still alive, but people still today believe that he died in a car accident.
Oh, geez.
Like a long time ago, back in the 60s, and this kind of like speaks to me in volumes about like how what we used to do before like the internet. And this was back when, before like even fucking TV was prolific in everybody's house. This was well, okay, I bought a vinyl. What do I do with it after I listen to it? Just listen to it again.
There you go.
And like that's when people started getting bored and like spinning it backwards.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to a song backwards?
Not myself, not personally.
No. it's such a stretch when people say that they hear these fucking satanic voices when you like put your finger on it and then you run the table backwards under the needle. And I'm just like, I guess it just sounds like you're hearing the song kind of like fucking
distorted
through like you know, like when you hold up a fucking glass to a door to like listen to it. And I don't think people fucking do that anymore. But you know, but back in the day, people would, in movies, in old timey movies, you fuckers, you know what I'm talking about, where it's all black and white. People would hold up a glass to listen to what's on the other side of the door.
That's all right. For anyone listening, that is a legit strat. Like it echoes properly and it amplifies the noise that you can hear. So if you ever want to, you know, listen in on people, grab a glass, do that.
Yeah, and then it sounds like that, except if the glass was full of bull semen at the same time, and then it's just like, okay, well, it just sounds muffled, but I guess there's something going on there.
Oh yeah,
but people want to jump to so many fucking conclusions. That's why Paul McCartney's dead, even though he was around. It's like no. They got a really clever impersonator. They got a really, really good impersonator to come around.
Well, to be fair, at the time when this was reported in 1969, I mean, you could get like a Paul McCartney sound-alike.
Oh,
I mean, and how many people knew how he sounded? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, and I mean, long gone are the days of like just assuming a new identity. You can't just show up to a new town and just be like, "Yeah, I'm like John Smith."
Oh yeah. Well, you can, but you're not going to get away with it.
No, but
not if you're famous. Someone's going to point you out. If you're fucking wanted by the law, someone's going to turn you in eventually.
Yeah. Did I tell you about those guys that were like running from the law and they hid in the trash?
Oh yeah.
And they got caught by the cops like 2 days later
because
it's always some bullshit where it's like, you know, you're going to get caught on camera somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like the one guy got caught getting picked up at a McDonald's. Like
Jesus.
He got caught on camera at a McDonald's and then they followed the car that he got in.
Oh.
And they got him. And it was just like he was on the lam for 2 days and then nope.
He got a whole 2 days and he just didn't like sure.
One of those days he was in a trash can the entire time.
There you go. You start in the trash can, and then as soon as you see a break in the wood line, you run into the woods, and then you don't leave. That's the only
forever.
Yeah, that's the only way you're getting away from that.
Yeah.
But back in 1969, fucking if Paul McCartney died, they could have replaced him. Except, you know, we've advanced in time, and he stayed alive.
This isn't fucking Poochie, dude. People are gonna know what he looks like, and I guess if you're clever enough to be like, oh, I know who he is.
I don't know, man. I stop people on the street because they look like you all the time. You know, and they're like, who the hell are you? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a bum. Shut up.
Shut up. Oh, my God.
But I like, you know what? I like to think that in this time, in this delicious October time that we have, I like to think we're living in some alternate reality. You know, I like to think that we have the living, you know, Paul McCartney. And somewhere out there, Paul McCartney in an alternate universe, Paul McCartney died, and the timeline's split, but we can hear that being played back when you play the record backwards, you know?
Somewhere, fucking, you play Strawberry Fields Forever backwards, and it's I'm still alive.
Yeah, you know, fucking invest in Apple and then get out of it.
Okay, so all right, October 15th, 1951. I Love Lucy premieres. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about I Love fucking Lucy.
How many fucking years was that?
1951. So 100, 200, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, like I can't read, so
I can't write. So
all right.
Well, I don't think that balances out.
I don't know. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I just want to one up the deficiencies. Hey, I can't sign my name.
Yeah, I couldn't read it if you did. So okay, I Love Lucy. All right, so this was like the beginning of starting the sitcom era.
I wanted to make a bold statement and say like this was like the original sitcom, right? But then I wanted to not put my foot in my mouth. But now that you've said it, it's much easier to go with.
I think it did though. Like, I'm not sure what was before this that would qualify in the same like. I guess there was a lot of shows that were around in a similar time frame, but this one kind of like revolutionized all of them.
Oh yeah. Also, female lead early on in the timeline.
Yeah, Ethel Mertz. She was banging him up.
No,
and then Ricky Ricardo.
I'd bang her. I'd bang him up. Come on, man. Don't you like alliterative names?
Yeah. And they actually married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Man, it's old. It is old. It is beyond my time. It is beyond your time. It is beyond time.
but they started all the classic arcs because I think they were the first iteration of doing all the same bullshit that you would see in classic fucking sitcoms and cartoons nowadays, where it's like, oh, well, you think it's so easy making the house all the time. Well, why don't you fucking make the house?
Yeah.
And then Lucy's got to go get the job. So, like, they did that one. They did the fucking, for some reason, Ricky Ricardo can never spot his wife when she's wearing a fake mustache. So, like, whenever she needed to evade him, she would always put on a fake mustache. But then they did the famous conveyor belt scene.
Oh, my God. That's what pops into my mind when you say I Love Lucy is, what the hell was it? It was some kind of factory.
A chocolate factory.
Yeah, it was a chocolate factory.
Like, they had to package the chocolates, but then it came out too fast.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys are doing really well with this. Not package it. They had to, like, put, like, some sort of confectionery on it.
Yeah.
But then, like, they started coming out too
But
fast.
yeah, it comes out too fast, and they start screwing it up, and then everything just goes haywire. It's good, clean family fun, you know?
Yeah,
and it's classic. If you ever want to go back and be like, man, everything I've watched in my entire life is unoriginal, because I Love Lucy. It's one of those. It's the whole idea that the South Park hit on with Simpsons did it. You know, I Love Lucy did it. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was good, clean, wholesome fun. I don't remember if they ever got political. You know.
I don't think they got political, but they definitely did one of those. One of the episodes I also remember was Lucy was getting drunk on camera doing like a commercial for Vita Vegemite or some shit like that. But apparently, like, in every tablespoon there was like half an ounce of whiskey. So every time they did a take, she was getting a little more drunk. Yeah, but this was also back in the day when like doctors would prescribe you cigarettes, like if you had asthma or
you got some coke. You know, just here's some cocaine for the pain.
Yeah, you want to lose some weight? Here's some amphetamines.
Hell yeah.
I guess you'll lose weight because you won't be eating anything. So
what a weird time. But you have to pay respect to the old stuff.
Well, yeah.
I feel like you should, you know, like,
well, this is the whole reason for it, because it's like you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been.
Yeah.
So,
and hey, you know, if you're ever looking to make your own show and you want a good starting off point, just crib off them. I mean, as long as you pick like the non-sequential show numbers, then they can't say you completely ripped them off.
Yeah. So this one, I'm not sure if you've even watched this.
Try me. You're probably right.
October 15th, 2000, Curb Your Enthusiasm came out. Did you ever watch this show?
I don't. A lot of people make a lot of references to the show, but I never saw it. So I get that joy of feeling like an outcast.
This show I recently started picking up, and I'm loving it. The reason I started picking it up is because this one, like, there's an overarching theme to every episode, but all the dialogue is improv.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, see, now I have to watch that.
It's so good because it's like, well, we have a beginning, middle, end on where we want the story to go.
Right.
But all the interactions between the characters, as long as they're not like a random fucking Joe Schmo from the fucking street, all the characters that are in the story, all of their dialogue is improv.
That's crazy to know, actually.
Yeah, that was, when I found that out, I was like, all right, I guess I'm watching this now. Because, like, if it was just another scripted sitcom kind of thing, it's just like,
that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just, you know, another written story, and then everyone liked the old guy because he was kind of a dick.
I think he did some writing for Seinfeld too.
Oh, okay.
So
that explains.
Yeah,
because everyone talks about it having like a more dry humor.
It is. It's a bit more dry, but like the first fucking episode is about him having, you know, that fold in your pants that makes it look like you have a boner.
Yeah.
And
I hate that. I can relate. I can relate to that because I'm a male.
So you need to watch this. This is worth your time. I don't know if you guys need to go back and rewatch I Love Lucy, but go back and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, because like I love how fucking creative that was to have a show that's pretty much almost all improv.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. I like having the outline, you know. Give it the outline, let them improv, and see where that goes. As long as you get good people, then it'll be fantastic every time. You know? If you got, you know, crappy people, then whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get fucking Whose Line Is It Anyway, season 7 or whatever it is. Fucking Christ.
Oh,
with nobodies and old people.
I was gonna say, was Colin and Ryan still on that season, or
maybe? I don't know. I stopped caring.
I know.
They got
didn't
old.
they stop? Didn't those two stop being on the show for a little bit, and then they came back recently?
Yeah.
With like Lana from Archer, Aisha Taylor.
God.
She's the one that's hosting it now.
She's such a sweet girl. She's so bad. She's not good at improv comedy.
I know she was like, I used to think she was super cute when I saw her on Friends, but like,
man, what a weird sitcom filled night.
Yeah.
Go look up like Lucy's best moments on YouTube or something.
Yeah, that'll save you like 8 or 9 fucking months of 8 or 9 seasons of watching that shit.
It's long running.
Because there was them, they got married, then they had a kid at one point, and then Ricky owned the nightclub, like all these fucking arcs.
Hey, it's good to see a story advance at least.
Yeah, and then there was like some sort of weird like roundabout story arc that I remember them going through where it was like they couldn't find each other in the same apartment, even though the kid was in the kitchen.
Oh, God.
It was one of those, like, if I was that kid, I would think my mom and my dad were the same person because they're never in the room at the same time.
I like the conspiracy theories we're having. Paul McCartney is traveling dimensions through records, and Lucy and Ricardo are the same person.
It's one of those things that's like,
it's like Michael and Janet, you know?
They were never in the same place at the same time.
Michael had to go because Janet just wanted to live her life.
Yeah, I guess that's the truth. Okay. All right, so let's wrap it up with some stupid news, all right?
All right.
Scumbag stupid news.
So Jamie Lee Curtis has a profound take on what to do with firearms. The actress proclaims through a tweet, assault weapons banned now, assault weapons banned now, assault weapons banned now, ad infinitum. You know, it was just like until she ran out of characters.
150 characters probably ended on a assault.
So in classic Hollywood fashion, much like they did with all the guns in E.T., Jamie Lee Curtis's character Laurie Strode in the new upcoming Halloween movie is going to fight off Michael Myers with a walkie-talkie.
I mean, I've only seen clips of her with a shotgun. That's not an assault weapon.
Yeah, like there was a lot of backpedaling on this one. Do you remember seeing this?
Not the backpedaling.
It was a lot of like her saying this, people saying like, "Oh, isn't your character in the next movie doing this?" And then she's like, "No, you don't understand. Like for art, it's okay."
No. Sorry, Jamie Lee Curtis. You're a sweet girl, but no, you're also dumb.
Okay, so Air India pilot hits brick wall during takeoff and continues to fly for 3 hours into the destination. Right? Not like crash into it, but he...
Oh, I thought you were going to say he flew out of the cockpit himself.
No. He said he didn't feel a thing, and boy, I've heard that during sex before.
Oh. Welcome to the Depression cast.
Yeah. Oh, man, here's a sad one. Sears stores are closing and filing for bankruptcy. It's the end of an era. Now where are you going to go for teenagers to loiter? You know? Macy's, Dillard's, Nordstrom...
Oh, no.
I guess for those 1% teenagers that need to loiter, but us fucking working class teenagers needed to loiter in Sears.
Hell yeah, we did. A prestigious name. That's a topic all its own.
Massachusetts mayor arrested for defrauding investors $200,000, he said he was using it for lavish vacations. He said the taxpayers would like to see a happy mayor, right? And wanted to see if there were any benefits from fucking strangers in the Bahamas.
I mean,
he's already fucking his constituents, so like,
damn. It's for science.
So this one was all over Facebook for a while. Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, visits White House to have brunch with the president. Ye claims that wearing MAGA hat gives him superpowers. Other imitators have tried, with no such luck, like obtaining MAGA superpowers. Like having the ability to build that wall, or having somebody else pay for it,
That'd be nice.
Or having that weird look with the white circles around your eyes and the stupid looking hair.
God, our president is belongs on the set of the fuck is that Jersey show? Jersey Shore.
Yeah, the Jersey Shore.
Shore.
And finally, speaking of stupid looking, this is what I was talking about earlier. A woman in Brooklyn calls cops after being sexually assaulted. Yes, we hope justice was served. In the tail end of 2018, we can't let anyone get away with these kinds of atrocities, regardless of video evidence showing the perp who brushes up next to her with his backpack. Not actually a person touching person, But let's, not stop there. The accused regrets the event after tears roll down his eyes and crying for his mommy, saying he didn't know he was going to go to jail. That's right. Sexual crimes know no age limits. Kids need to go to jail too. He probably learned this shit from Pepe Le Pew.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta fucking Christ.
This one
Just a
made
big
me
circle
sad.
of just a nice open and close of God. People are. I don't. There's no further commentary to make on it. It's all ridiculous. The whole world's topsy turvy. People.
Yeah, I think Paul McCartney is dead.
I hope he is, so he doesn't have to see this hell that we're in.
Now we have to deal with fake Paul McCartney, but still real Yoko Ono. I don't understand.
Oh my God, what a terrible time! Can we hop into the other dimensions?
Well, if we do, then I think Shao Kahn wins, and
oh man,
yeah, and
He
then
always
we have to
wins.
do Mortal Kombat all over again.
It's gonna be fucking President Shao Kahn sitting up there. I'm gonna tear down that wall with my big green hammer.
Do you? Oh my God! Do you remember like how Mortal Kombat was only supposed to go on once per generation?
Yeah,
And I feel like it's been going on once per year.
they just have the same people doing it over and over again. You'd think they'd find new champions. They
what
killed
about
Johnny
fatalities?
Cage. They killed Johnny Cage, and he just came right back.
Yeah, he was there to race fucking Cyrex. He was there to race Cyrex and Scorpion, and he beat both of their
He beat
asses.
both of them.
Oh
Oh
man,
my God, I don't. The stories today,
yeah.
they have been.
The news has been bad.
This has been weird.
Yeah, and the history was also bad.
The history was also, everything is kind of bad. Welcome to the worst cast. You get the worst of everything. Worst
Yeah.
commentary, worst hosts.
Yeah, and then but check out Curb Your Enthusiasm. At least that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of all right.
And then race people in Mortal Kombat.
And race people in Mortal. You know what? Just do it all at once. Just race people in Mortal Kombat while watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I don't know.
I Love Lucy.
Listen to Alanis Morissette. It's not that bad. I listened to it.
It's
okay.
Does it hold up?
It is of its generation. It's the angsty emo dude, but in coming from a chick's mouth. It is literally that. There's a song called Perfect that is my childhood. So go listen to
okay.
that.
All right, sounds good. And then we will catch you next time.
See ya.